Oh, my bun looks like the drunk girl at the party. Welcome everyone. If you're wondering about my makeup, I recorded a video on it for once and forever because I'm using so much fancy. Girl, look at that. Look at that. That is sickening, girl. Fenty Beauty. Sling again. Like, that's startling. Anyway, I know that this glow has you shook, but you technically didn't click on this video because of that. You clicked on it to hear about everyone's favorite story time. And this, as you guys may or may not know, is the third story in this month's Storytime Sunday. And I'm sorry for those of you that love Storytime because this Storytime isn't really planning to be particularly funny, but y'all know I'm pretty sarcastic, so there might, something might slip in there or something. But this is supposed to be more informative, helping you notice the signs that you are being recruited for a cult. So recently Korea, this has been happening for a while, but particularly since, the president's, her version of her Watergate scandal when she was giving money to a cult. A lot of information about cults has been going around in Korea, and particularly it's like a new subject for a lot of dramas. It's a new thing for like political exposés, cults. And more than that, there's just been a lot of people recruiting for said cults. I don't know why they would do it now because people would be more privy of it, but other YouTubers have talked about this recently for those of you in Korea, but this is just, if you haven't seen those videos, hopefully this will help you because this is what happened to me personally. I was in Hongdae, shocker. I was going shopping, also a shocker. I'm either going clubbing, shopping, or eating, so that's what I usually am doing on a day-to-day basis. I went to go shopping and I was alone. It was broad daylight, so I figured there's nothing wrong with that. For those of you that have ever been near exit 9 of Hongdae, it's a very popular area. That's where you have the Kakao Talk store. That's where I got my Ryan case, in case any of you were wondering. I knew that I was going to drop by there, but also I was looking for somewhere that sold Pony Effect. As you may or may not know if you've seen my other makeup videos, I really like Pony Effect lip products, so I tend to collect it. I was trying to get my hands on Pony Effect lipsticks, okay? And so I'm looking around, I'm going into random stores because there was no Mimi box around, but I was just wondering if there was another store that sells Pony Effect because they sell her stuff at random places, so I've been told. So I'm walking into places, and on my way out, I run into two Korean girls, and they come up to me and they speak to me in, broken English, and I didn't really understand what they were saying. I said, hey, yeah, I speak Korean, what's the problem? And basically they were like, oh, that's so cool. Do you know where A-land is? Red flag. First thing is, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I'm brown. So 99% of the time I'm probably a foreigner. And even if I wasn't a foreigner, if I was born in Korea and I was just half Korean or I had a hell of a tan, people would still think I was foreign anyway, so no one would come up to me for directions. All these it's a very popular area. There's a lot of Korean people just walking around. All these Korean people, but you come up to me for directions. Red flag. One, you didn't even know if I could understand you or if you could understand me, and you're coming up to this random foreigner to be a part of what? I tell them the truth. I'm like, no, I don't know where A-land is. I know it's somewhere around here, but I'm not really sure. They stand there, they're like, oh, okay, because a lot of foreigners tend to shop there, so that's why we asked you. I was like, oh yeah, well, I don't know. Okay, bye. And they were like, oh, so where are you from? And I'm like, so my first thought was not cult, actually. My first thought was I've had random people come up to me for stupid stuff because they want to make foreign friends. This is a side story time. This is not worthy of its own story time, so I'll just pop this in here. One time I was walking in Shincheon Station and a girl literally came up to me with a notepad and she's like, hey, can we be friends? I'm like, I guess, I don't know. She was like, oh, because I don't have any black friends, so I just wanted some black friends. And I was like, I didn't know if this was a learning opportunity. I didn't know if I was okay, should I take this opportunity to educate people? But I was tired, and that was my last day in Korea, the first time I went to Korea. Okay, at least we knew there was no confusion. Yeah, I'm just trying to collect them all Pokemon. So to be honest, I thought it was a situation like that. I thought it was two girls that were looking for a language partner or something, or were just curious to practice English. They wanted more foreigner friends. I thought it was something like that. So that's why I wasn't freaked out at first. So they're talking to me. They're like, where are you from? I'm like, oh, I'm from the United States. And they were like, oh, okay, that's so cool. And they were asking very vague questions. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, you asked me a question. Are you done asking me a question? Because they just stood there and they were talking to me about makeup and stuff. And one girl had a lot of makeup on, poorly done makeup. sorry girl. I'm not sorry, you're a cult recruiter. And she was like, yeah, there's like a major for putting on makeup and cosmetology. I don't know if that's true or not. They starting young, huh? They got cult recruiters at like 18. Like, we gotta get them young. I gave them my cacao talk because, again, I thought they were like looking for language partners or something like that. And they were like, yeah, we want to introduce you to some more friends and stuff, after I'd already given them my cacao. And there was something weird about that. And I was like, oh, okay. But I think nothing of it. And I go to a different store. I went to Cacao and got my case, and I was just like feeling it. I was like, yo, it's so adorable. I finally like exemplifies how much I love Ryan because I want to see you all the time. Look at his cute little bow tie. Oh my god. And I'm walking out like da 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 da, like a cute little idiot. That's what I looked like. Another 2 Korean girls come up to me, a different set of Korean girls, and they basically do the exact same thing. That's why I was like, this is weird, because they come up to me, they notice my Ryan case because I had put it on my phone at that point. They were like, oh, Ryan, where did you get that? And literally we're right outside of the big ass yellow, you can't miss the Cacao store. It is so obnoxious. It's bright yellow. It's like 3 or 4 stories tall. You can't miss it. And literally I had one of those like moments. I'm like, and their excuse was like, oh, we didn't know, we're not from Seoul, but it's right here, big ass sign that says Cacao Friends. So I'm just like, and they do kind of the same thing. They're like, oh, like, where are you from? So I ended up saying something like, I gotta go meet a friend, which was true. And I go back home and I'm just like, that was a very weird 20 minutes, because that was like immediately one after another. I go into one store, come out 2 people. I go into another store, come out 2 other people, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I knew for sure that that first group of friends, I am not going to see them. So later that week, I had my first meet and greet that I've ever had. We ended up going to get dinner, or like lunch or something. And I'm like talking to people, and I'm like, so let me tell y'all something, and y'all give me your advice, because this is what happened, and it was really weird. So I'm telling them these stories. Actually, the people that came to those meet and greets, they know some of my upcoming story times better than other people. So basically I tell them the story. I'm like, yeah, like in the course of maybe like 10-20 minutes, I had 2 groups of girls come up to me like asking me about like, where is A-land? And they were like, before I could finish the words, where is A-land, they all said it together, like, where is A-land? And I was like, what's happening? What's going on? And they were like, that's a cult, Kendall. That's like legit a cult. More so than they are like a religious cult, from what I hear. They're more of like a money cult. They'll like swindle you out of money and just put you in really awkward, uncomfortable situations, possibly kill you. I don't really know. I think it depends on which ones, you know. It's just another day. And I'm sitting there, and each of these girls are starting to tell me their stories about being solicited by a cult. I was all in the mood for trying new things. I wasn't trying to join in a cult though. Thank you for that. I appreciate that information. And then after that, it got me just researching people that have been put in cults. One girl got kidnapped and was forced to bow all the time, and I think another girl, they like swindled money out of her. Another one, they picked her up at the airport and like dropped her off at this like scary ass house. It was this whole thing on Twitter. Like, she did this long story of like how she had to escape people that tried to lock her into a room, and I was just like, why am I making story times? Y'all need to start talking, because it's dangerous out here and y'all got experience. Y'all need to help. Please help people out. So that's more so why I'm making this story, is not to be particularly entertaining. Well, hopefully you found it a little entertaining, but more so to like notice the signs. If you are foreign AF, hella foreign, and you look hella foreign, and random Korean people are asking you for directions in Korea, that is strange, okay? Also, if you tell them you don't know and they just stand there and they keep talking to you, still strange. If they say, we want to introduce you to other friends, yeah, still strange. I think my rule of thumb is this. I don't know why I don't do this in Korea, because I do it in the US. I put my headphones in. I don't talk to nobody. Just keep your headphones in. And actually, no, my headphones were in. Somehow they like tapped me on the arm. Like, they just wanted my attention. I'm like, what? So like, even when they tap you on the arm, even if you feel like you're impolite, just keep walking, because low-key, you don't know what these weirdos are into. If they wanted to meet foreign friends for like language exchange, there's so many meetings in Korea about stuff like that, foreign exchange groups and stuff. You just gotta look on the internet if that's what you're looking for, or like language partner meetup stuff in Korea. There's so much like that. I've met some weirdos there too, but maybe for another story time. Stuff like that exists. So if random people are stopping you in Korea, that's weird, because people don't just randomly stop and talk to strangers in Korea, just overall. If someone feels particularly comfortable to do that to you, they are a weirdo. So if you found this story time helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Be making more like weird story times about more weirdos that exist on this planet, because that's basically what my content is at this point. Beat face and weirdo disgrace. Oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, meh. No, it's not that good. Follow me on Twitter to hear all the realness as it happens. Follow me on Instagram to see the beat. If you haven't seen last week's story time, I'll link that right here. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.